At 68, Bo Derek finally tells the truth about John Derek. Bo Derek was born Mara Kathleen Collins on November 20th, 1956 in Long Beach, California. Bo's early life was pretty normal. She was the daughter of Paul Collins, who worked for a hobby cat company, and Norma Bass, who did makeup and hair for Anne Margaret. She grew up in Southern California close to the beach, and she loved horses and nature. These things stayed important to her whole life. She went to Narbonne High School in Harbor City, but she left school at age 16 after she met John Derek, the man who would change her whole life and help make her a Hollywood star. Even though lots of people didn't like their relationship, John Derek was almost 30 years older than her and he was still married at the time. Bo stayed loyal to him no matter what. The two got married in 1976 and stayed together until John died in 1998. Their marriage was romantic, but they also worked together a lot. John directed several of Bo's movies, helping her career but also controlling it in some ways. Bo's first movie was called Orca in 1977. It was a small role that most people didn't notice, but her second film, 10, directed by Blake Edwards, made her a huge star. She played Jenny Hanley, the dream woman of Dudley Moore's character. Bo made the character both innocent and attractive in a special way. The film did really well with critics and audiences. Edwards got an Academy Award nomination and Bo became super famous overnight. Her braided hairstyle became really popular around the world, and the scene of heroning on the beach in a tan-colored swimsuit became one of the most famous moments in movie history. For a while, Bo Derek wasn't just a movie star. She was everywhere in popular culture. After 10, Bo tried to use her new fame, usually working with her husband, John Derek. Movies like Tarzan, The Man in 1981, Bolero in 1984, and Ghosts Can't Do It in 1989 tried to mix romance and adventure with sensual stories, but most critics didn't like them. But even when reviews were bad, Bo kept working hard and stayed loyal to her husband's creative ideas. She never said sorry for her choices or for the kind of movies she and John made. She said they were making the films they wanted to make without studios telling them what to do. In this way, Bo Derek showed she was independent and made her own in a business where others usually told you what to do. After the sensual and controversial just can't do it, Bo Derek kept making her own unique path in Hollywood, showing that she was much more than just the beautiful woman who had amazed audiences in 10. In the early 1990 seconds, she took on a bunch of TV and movie roles that showed she was willing to try new things and change herself. She was in the romantic comedy Hot Chocolate in 1992, a fun made-for-TV movie that showed her charm, and then she did Shattered Image in 1994 where she played a more serious role that showed she was getting better as an actress. That same year, she starred in the straight-to-video thriller Woman of Desire, a steamy suspense movie that put her with Robert Mitchum and Jeff Fahey, making people remember her as one of the movie's lasting symbols of glamour and mystery. In 1995, Derek did something surprising and funny in the popular film Tommy Boy, acting with Chris Farley and David Spade. Even though her role as Beverly Barish Burns Fowsky was small, people remembered it. It was a clever and flirty performance that made fun of her own glamorous image. The film became really popular with fans and even got Derek a Golden Raspberry Award nomination for Worst Supporting Actress, a silly award she ended up losing to Madonna for 4 Rooms. Bo didn't let the nomination bother her. She kept her cool and sense of humor. She often said in interviews that being nominated with such famous people meant she was still part of Hollywood's world, even if the award was kind of a joke. As the year 2000 got closer, Bo Derek kept balancing her acting career with other things she cared about, like helping people and her love for horses, but she never really stopped acting. She came back in the thriller Frozen with Fear in 2000, where Ash played a woman dealing with past trauma and suspicion, one of her most emotional performances. In 2002, she did something funny again with Dana Carvey in The Master of Disguise. Even though the film got her a second Golden Raspberry nomination for Worst Supporting Actress, Derek being in it showed she could laugh at herself and her place in pop culture. She then did Malibu's Most Wanted in 2003, playing a fancy, classy mother in a comedy about Los Angeles that showed her good comedic skills. During this time, Derek also appeared on TV shows, showing she could do lots of different things beyond movies. She had guest roles in shows like Family Law, Queen of Swords, Two Guys, A Girl and a Pizza Place, Lucky, Still Standing, and the long-running family show Seventh Heaven. Each time she appeared, she got to play new types of characters. Sometimes she was playing a caring mentor, a sharp-talking rich woman, or a quaintly powerful mother figure. In the years after that, Bo Derek kept showing up so many times in TV and movies, taking on roles that let her show her humor, warmth, and wisdom. She was in series like Chuck and Zemayamai and even did comedic parts that showed her relaxed personality and self-awareness about her past as a Hollywood icon. What's really cool about Bo's later years is how real she was. She never tried to follow trends or get back her past glory, but instead she accepted getting older with grace and humor. After 16-year-old Mary Kathleen Collins, who would later become world-famous under the name Bo Derek, met and started a romantic relations with John Derek. Her life took a big and controversial turn that would shape both her personal future and her public image. John Derek, an experienced Hollywood actor, director, and photographer, was 30 years older than her, and this made lots of people criticize and judge them from both the entertainment world and regular people. Their relationship, which started when she was still a minor, created legal and moral problems that were hard to ignore. Because he was scared of getting in trouble under California staff laws about adults dating minors, Derek decided to move the couple to Germany, where their relationship wouldn't binder American laws. This move to another country, which shocked many people, also started Clinton's change from a young California teenager into a calm, worldly young woman whose beauty and personality would later amaze people in the world. While they were in Germany, John Derek kept working on his skills as a filmmaker and photographer, and often used Collins as his subject. He started taking pictures of her in a series of artistic, beautiful photographs that showed her striking looks and natural grace. These years were really important in creating the look that would make Bo Derek a future star. A mix of young innocence, attractiveness, and calm confidence, away from Hollywood gossip. The couple built a creative partnership that was both romantic and about work. John became not only her boyfriend but also her teacher, helping her early career and building her dream to become an actress and model. When Collins turned 18, the couple felt safe enough to come back to the United States, where they could live openly without worrying about legal problems. They married in 1976, making their union official to the public and the law. From that time in, she used the name Bo Derek, an name that would soon mean body, glamour, and the golden look of late 1970s Hollywood. Their marriage, even though it had a controversial start, lasted a really long time. The two were often said to be very devoted to each other, keeping a relationship that balanced love, art, and needing each other. John directed Bo in several of his films, especially Tarzan, The Ape Man in 1981, which even though critics had mixed feelings about it, made her a pop culture icon. Their creative work together was intense and all-consuming. They were almost never seen apart and lived a kind of private life away from Hollywood's fast-paced social scene. Their marriage lasted over 12 decades until John Derek died from heart failure in 1998, ending a partnership that had shaped most of Bo's adult life. His death really affected her. She often said he was not only the love of her life but also the man who had shaped who she was. Her career and her sense of purpose in the years after his death shuffled back a bit from the public, focusing on healing and figuring out herself outside the shadow of her late husband. After dealing with her sadness, Bo Derek slowly came back into the public world. She briefly dated Republican Congressman David Dreyer, a relationship that surprised many fans who knew her mainly as an actress rather than someone connected to politics. Even though their romance didn't last long, it showed a different, more independent side of Bo, someone no longer shaped only by her marriage to John Derek. By 2002, Bo found love again, this time with actor John Corbett. Best known for his roles in My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Sex and the City, their relationship started quietly, but soon became one of Hollywood's most loved long-term partnerships. The couple chose a lifestyle far away from the fancy entertainment world, living on a ranch in Santa Barbara, California, where they shared a love of animals, nature, and living simply. Both loved horses and they spent their time on horse breeding and rescue work, living a peaceful and down-to-earth life that was very different from Bo's earlier, more difficult years. After almost 2 decades together, Bo Derek and John Corbett married in December 2020 in a private and small ceremony that showed their deep connection and respect for each other. Their union showed a new chapter in Bo's life, one shaped by emotional peace, lasting love, and personal happiness. From her controversial start as a teenage subject to her growth into a mature, confident woman, Bo Derek's story shows resilience, change, and the lasting power of love through life's many seasons. At 68, Bo Derek has reached a point in her life where looking back comes naturally, where the shine of Hollywood fades just enough for truth to come through. For decades, the actress and model, best known for her breakout role in the 1979 film 10, was seen as a fantasy figure, a woman shaped into perfection by her late husband, John Derek. But behind that image was a complicated relationship that started in ways that will cause controversy even today. Now, after years of silence and carefully chosen words, Bo speaks openly about the man who shaped her early career and her life. John was my everything for a very long time, she says, but he was also a man with problems. Deep problems that I didn't fully understand when I was young. Bo met John Derek when she was just 16 years old, still Mary Kathleen Collins, a California teenager with little experience but lots of curiosity. John, a former Hollywood actor and photographer 30 years older than her, was right away amazed by her beauty. Didn't think about the age difference back then, Bo says. I was young, didn't know much, and amazed by someone who seemed to know everything about art, movies, and the world. When their relationship started, California's laws didn't allow theaterments. To avoid getting in trouble, the couple moved to Germany where John could photograph and teach her with a tonyon bothering them. It sounds shocking now, she says. And it was. We ran away from everything. My family, my home, my friends. But at that age, I thought I was in love, and that love made everything okay. The decision to leave the United States shaped Bo's future in ways she couldn't have known. While in Europe, John controlled almost every part of her life, how she looked, her name, and her starting career. He remade me in his idea of what a woman should be, Bo says. He told me what to wear, how to move, how to smile. At the time, I thought it was romantic, like he was building a world just for us. But later I realized I was disappearing inside his vision. When they came back to the US after her 18th birthday and married in 1976, Bo was no longer just a girl. She was John Derek's creation. Under his help, she became a cultural phenomenon. When 10 came out, Bo Derek became a global icon overnight. Her cornrow hair and beach running scene shaped a whole generation's idea of beauty. But fame came with a big cost. John protected me from the industry, but he also kept me away from it, she says. He didn't want me to work with other directors. He wanted to direct me himself, to control every moment I was in. At first, I thought that was loyalty and love. But as the years went on, I saw that it was about owning me. Films like Tarzan, The Ape Man, and Bolero, both directed by John, got harsh criticism, often talking more about their sexuality than about her acting. Bo was called a fantasy figure rather than a serious actress. It hurt, she says. People thought I was shallow, that I was just this blonde, a symbol of desire. But no one understood how trapped I felt in that image. Still, Bo stayed with John for more than 2 decades, taking care of him until his death in 1998. Leaving him was never something I could do, she says quietly. We had built our lives together for better or worse. I love him deeply, even when I knew he was controlling. He was brilliant and difficult, charming and manipulative. I can't separate the pain from the love. We were both prisoners of what we created. Looking back, she knows how much her youth affected her decisions. When you're 16, you think you know what love is, she explains. But I see now that it was power. He had all of it, and he gave it to him willingly. Today, Bo Derek lives a quieter life, far away from the spotlight that onseshaped her. She finds peace on her California ranch, surrounded by animals and nature, and in the steady friendship of actor John Corbett, her partner since 2002. John Corbett lets me be me, she says with a smile. There's no control, no judgment, just love and laughter. It took me decades to learn that love isn't about possession. It's about freedom. Thinking about her past with both sadness and thankfulness, Bo says, I didn't regret my life. John taught me a lot about art and discipline, even if he also taught me pain. I survived it. I grew from it. At 68, I finally see the truth of who I was and who I've become. For Bo Derek, the truth about John Derek is not about being bitter or blaming him, but about seeing clearly. We were both imperfect, she says. He shaped my life in ways that were both beautiful and hurtful. You've made peace with that. You can't rewrite the past, but you can understand it. Claude can make mistakes.